Wake up, Hugh, it's time to go. Grab the leash, we're hitting the road. Got my paws ready to roam. This world ain't gonna explore alone. I sniff the air, I chase the breeze. Every trail's a mystery. Cooper's adventures follow me. Caves and woods and history. Ghost towns, whispers, secrets low. Together we're the stars of the show. Abandoned barns with creaky doors, haunted halls and mossy floors, fishing poles and a camping fire, a life of freedom I inspire. I wag my tail, I lead the way, every step a brand new day. Cooper's adventures follow me, caves and woods and history, ghost towns, whispers, secrets low. Together we're the stars of the show.
Out here in the rugged countryside near Rogerson, Idaho, where the mountains fade into high desert and the wind never really stops blowing, sits a forgotten piece of southern Idaho history known today as Harrell Place homestead. At first glance, it just looks like another abandoned ranch slowly being reclaimed by time. But over 100 years ago, this land represented survival, opportunities, and a dream of building a life from absolutely nothing. This homestead likely dates back to the 1900s during the massive settlement boom that swept across southern Idaho after irrigation projects transformed parts of the desert into usable farmland. Families pushed into places like Brown's Bench and the Salmon Falls Creek Basin, hoping to carve out a future in one of the harshest environments imaginable. Standing here today, you can still see the story written into the buildings themselves. The old one-story homestead tells the story perfectly. Rough log timber construction on both ends, with a more modern center section added later as times change and families try to improve what they had built. It wasn't fancy, it wasn't easy, but it was home. Nearby sits a massive combination pole barn and 10-stall stable, a reminder that this place wasn't just a cabin in the desert. It was a working ranch property. Horses, livestock, equipment, long winters, isolation, everything out here depended on hard work and endurance. Over time, like so many remote Idaho homesteads, the families disappeared, roads changed, ranching declined, people moved closer to town, and eventually Harrell Place was left behind, slowly weathered by the desert sun, brutal winters, and decades of silence. But even now the history remains. Today, we're exploring what's left of Harrell Place homestead, uncovering its past, walking between its forgotten buildings, and documenting another fading piece of Idaho history before time finally erases it forever. Here we are, friends, back out at an old homestead that we'd already explored, but somehow or another I lost all my footage of it.
Yep, because we smart fellers. Or fart smellers, one or the other.
So let's go ahead and do this explore a second time.
I'm a fart smeller. I left the lens cap on. There we go. Now I can see you. Trust me, we are professionals. Jason.
Oh, I'm too old to get my leg up over that. Oh, hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm too old to get my leg up over that. Oh, hey, How you doing? Okay. There has been somebody in here.
Yep. So those weren't our tracks.
The real question is, are they still here?
There's both our friends up in the tree, sitting in their nest.
You like it better with the rigging on it?
Yeah, I think so.
Alright, there's our fate if they are here, I think. Very, very, very old homestead here. Out in the middle of nowhere. The old homestead house, which I think we'll save for last this time.
Alright, well, let's check it out over here. We got some nice trees.
We got some old piping right here. But I'm not going to open it again. But
Right where you go, there's beauty.
there's an old water pump house.
You just got to look for it.
The old pole barn. And some stables. I seem to have lost Steven somewhere. That's right, just means different footage. We're going to go ahead and go over here and walk up back behind the stables. See what we got back there. A fence that keeps us from getting back there. That's what's there. Alright. Got the old diesel pump there. And tank. Tiny little shed over here. Nothing really of interest in it though. Inside the pole barn area, we got a few little leftover scraps. Not really much in here, but still kind of neat nonetheless. Old hand come along. One big old honking mouse trap. Last time we went in this camper, there was some still decent stuff in it. We'll take a look, see if it's still there or not. Got a bird stuck in there. But here we are. We still got all the books up on the shelf. Got some pictures. Bunch of clothes all scattered out still. Bed's all still here. We'll go check out what I didn't go check out last time. Maybe I won't. This floor's kind of squishy. Okay, yeah, we're in. Typical camper bathroom. Got some loofah in there still. Nothing in any of the cabinets and closets though. We got a fridge, we gotta check it. Nothing in the fridge. Nothing in the freezer. It's actually in really good shape. Oh, that's an interesting microwave. Lots and lots of animals living in here though. So we say we go explore a little bit more of the property. Oh, hey, how you doing? Anything new over there? Looks like there used to be a little something right here. Logs for the cabin over here. I do apologize about the wind. It is blowing pretty decent out here. Let's see if we can edit that out in editing. But here's the old homestead house. It does look like someone did try to modernize it. Of course, we can't get in because this padlock closed, and we're not going to break anything to get in. This would be a very nice little homestead to get back into shape and to be a homestead. It used to be the back entrance. What looks like could have been a porch or storage. Just inside these trees, there's a little bit of a stream. I believe, if I remember right, the name of it's Brown Creek. Got a little structure over here. Looks like it would have been like wood storage or something like that for a wood burner. Or an old outhouse. That's an old outhouse. We'll go have a look-see at that partially buried structure. We did leave the dogs at home this time, just because the risk of snakes is very real now. Plus, in one of these trees over here, there's an eagle's nest with a mated pair of bald eagles, which would have absolutely no problems picking Cooper up and flying away with him. I have no idea at all what this structure would have been. But it looks like it's a little two-roomed. This one here is more above ground than anything. All I can think of is pantry. Or root cellar of some kind. And that's here is a section that's all underground. Beautiful, beautiful countryside. A little bit further up the hill there, it looks like we got a couple junk piles that we checked out last time. We're not going to go up and double check. But here's that two-room storage from above. Except for there were some interesting things up here that we did find last time. We're just not entirely sure what they are. Just like anything out in this terrain, it's a little bit of a hike to it. old cans and bottles. Someone had a little bit of a party out here. I'm too old and fat for this stuff. See what we were talking about coming into view here. It's a set of 3 of them. Oh yeah, 4th one. But we have no idea what this is.
But they are hollow inside.
Don't know if these are supposed to be burials or just markers or what the deal is.
This one's probably the most intact, and it's got what looks to be an entrance, or maybe a fire. It's a little small for a doghouse. Could be for maybe a beacon or light at night. Fire.
Doghouse? Cooper could fit in there.
Light at night. Alright, well, let's check it out over here. Got some nice fruit trees. Fair amount of flowers on them.
We got some old
Could produce a nice
piping
bunch
right
of
here.
the animals out here this year.
But I'm not going to open it again.
No matter
But
where you go, there's beauty.
there's an old water pump house.
You just got to look for it.
The old pole barn.
Finished checking out this orchard. If anyone can identify exactly what kind of fruit trees these are, that would be helpful for future videos. A little fallen down structure here. This could be storage. Possibly an old outhouse, but not likely. Looks like maybe wood storage. And right up there, let's see if we can get a closer view. That right there is the eagle's nest. I don't see them, so they must have flown off, but they will be back. Try not to disturb them too much. This is their home. Alright. Now that we've seen the orchard here, let's see what we can do about checking out this homestead. Got another building up here. We'll check that out shortly. Beautiful area though. Who wouldn't want to live here? Look at this. Like Lincoln logs. Everything cut just right to fit. We're thinking that this used to be two separate cabins. Each one has its own vent for heat. And this is obviously more modern. So we're assuming that it was two cabins that were joined together to make a large cabin. When they started to expand and put in modern irrigation, possibly for cattle or farming, more than likely cattle. This isn't the greatest ground for farming. Some lovely old equipment here. And these stone walls, which there's several out here, are just amazing to look at. The amount of time and effort that goes into building something, even this small.
Yep, that's what's left of Brown Creek. So what do you say we head back to the Jeep and see what else we can find out here?
Let's go on an adventure.
There's a pretty walk right back down into the homestead. God, I would love to just wake up to this every single morning. I would say set up hammocks in the trees and sleep outside, but I'm not interested in dealing with coyotes. Because you know dang well Cooper and Boomer both would want to be outside with me. You know what I didn't get footage of? But I am now? The awesome little fire pit out here.
I made sure to do.
Yeah, you can see right here where it went through. Just a small little tiny fire pit, you know.
Roasted chestnuts on an open fire.
These actually look like rose bushes, to be honest with you. Good thing that